Alameda, Jon Gruden told his team last week Santa might pay a visit during the final stretch of OTAs. That surprised many, given the head coach's maniacal obsession with whatever practice time he's offered during the early portion of the offseason. Typically NFL teams go bowling or paintballing when they forego a practice day. Jordy Nelson said he even shot guns on off days in Green Bay, but new Raiders special teams coordinator Rich Bisaccia spearheaded a different off-day activity for the Raiders at team headquarters Thursday that mirrored a similar event he oversaw while coaching the Cowboys. 8 local high school teams ventured to Alameda for a 7-on-7 tournament that lasted about 4 hours, with Raiders players serving as coaches and Raiders coaches officiating games. Early Thursday morning, the 8 appointed captains drafted their coaching staffs. Those 8 included Lee Smith, Jordy Nelson, Kyle Wilbur, Tahir Whitehead, Marshawn Lynch, Rodney Hudson, Derek Carr and Jordy Nelson. Wilbur's Dublin High School team eventually topped Lynch's Kennedy High School team in the championship game. Coach Gruden is an absolute wild man. I can promise you, if anyone doesn't want to give up football time, it's him, Smith said. For him to give up 6 hours of essentially time that we can be getting better and grinding and learning this new offense, to give back to the community, I can promise you it comes from a great place. It's our first year, man. Those 6 hours could have gone a long way. We want to make sure all these kids have a great day and have something they'll remember the rest of their lives. Get Raiders news in your inbox. Sign up now for the free Raiders HQ newsletter. Some, like Smith, have plenty experience around NFL players since his dad is a former Cowboy. Others, like Jordy Nelson and running back Jalen Richard, never sniffed an experience like this as a kid. It means a lot just to give back. A lot of us come from different backgrounds. A lot of us didn't have access to a lot of stuff, Richard said. You hear stuff about guys not having money to really go to camp or having to raise money to go to certain camps coming out of high school. They're not even listening to their dad or coaches that are here. They're listening to us. That just lets us know how much they respect what we do and the love for the game. We just love giving back to them. The schools in attendance included Castlemont, Kennedy, San Lorenzo, Encinal, Castro Valley and Dublin High Schools, Madison Park Academy and Oakland Military Institute. Raiders players were vocal with their teams, darting around behind the line of scrimmage to arrange pre-snap formations and call-out plays. Anytime a touchdown was scored or a pass intercepted, the mob of high schoolers and Raider coaches for that team burst down the field together and celebrated in excess. There's one-handed catches, there's diving catches, there's picks for 6, and the guys make people miss, Bisaccia said. It really wasn't about autographs and FaceTimes and selfies and those things. It's more about allowing our players to coach them a little bit and maybe they can learn something when they leave, and also our players soaking in what they got from the relationships they built with the young men. Like our Oakland Raiders Facebook page for more Raiders news, commentary and conversation. Nelson came away impressed by how relaxed the high schoolers seemed in front of Enfleurs, as his young kid from Kansas South would have been the opposite. I was thinking, if I was in high school and came out here, I would have been nervous out of my mind. Wouldn't know what to do. It would have been kind of crazy, Nelson said. I think they handled it well and were able to come out and perform. Our quarterback threw a 45-yard touchdown in the air to win our first game, so to be able to do that on the money, in a tight spiral, it's amazing what these kids have developed already. With a day of fun and teaching in the rearview, the Raiders turned their attention to mandatory minicamp next Tuesday to Thursday. Practice ramps up again and all eyes will focus on star defensive end Khalil Mack's contract negotiations, with the team's best player having not joined the Raiders yet this offseason, albeit for voluntary workouts. Before time at the facility becomes serious again, especially with potential holdouts and fines looming, the Raiders were relieved to have a change of pace for a day. Sometimes it can get a little monotonous, not boring, Richard said of OTAs. To switch it up like this, it kind of clears your brain, refresh before we start minicamp.